Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to our next episode of the show. And I am so much overwhelmed by seeing the love and the care you guys are doing, and it's really nice and it's really positive, and it keeps inspiring me to going ahead and making such a podcast and covering more and more content as much as possible. But we can do only so much because, like as you know, I'm all my full-time coaching business, and other than this, I also have two other ongoing startups. They are in planning stage right now. So a lot of time needs to be also invested in on such avenues. Anyways, what I was going through some text messages of my friend, and then I was also having a chat with some of them, and these are basically when I'm saying they. I don't want to take out their name because for their privacy concern, but they are really well educated, well established, I would say, in terms of the society's terms we have. But still, when I see people like them, they are really so much uncertain, and they're going through so much chaos, and it clearly shows that they do not know what exactly they want in their life. It's not like they are not capable, so this is a different thing. There is a clear distinction between, but they're just kind of stuck into the process, and they're just going through and like trying to figure things out in life, the way society and probably the others are doing. So he mentioned that he is kind of for him it's just like a catch-22 situation. He's not able to identify which path he should be taking in order to make some big calls for his career is concerned. So I thought I should be um, I should be sharing my so little, the tiny experience I had, and I did few tiniest thing. I did few tweaks here and there, and that thing really worked out for me. It looks like, because I was also caught up with this so much materialistically involved in this material world, and trying to please everyone, or maybe especially friends, the colleagues you have, society, to maintain the so much the parameters you have, of course based by the society, like you and me included, everyone. So I wanted to get out of that particular paradigm, and this was something. So here's the thing. There is a clue. You have to understand that if this is something you have within you, within yourself, anybody can recognize that, and I'm 100% sure you will be also able to recognize that, because when we talk about understanding ourselves, I firmly believe that in this world there is no other second person, or any agency, or any services, or even God can't understand better than you. And I firmly believe on this, because other person, they can only see you or observe you by your behavior, or maybe the time you have spent with them, or maybe the time you're spending with them. But technically, what is going inside you, what is going in your mind, in your thought level, and what are the situation you are going through in your life, I think it is way simpler. It's not easy, but I would say it is not impossible. Yes, we can make it simple. We can cut it down, and we can narrow it down, and then we can make it simpler as much as possible. But it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be very difficult, and we're making so much hard on ourselves. So I made some pointers which I have followed during my process when I had to take a call. So today's basically the topics we'll be covering: how to make a decision, and more politically correct, probably how to make a wise decision, or maybe making a decision and how can you make it wise, vice versa. Either way it works. For first of all, I think the very first thing and the resistance we get it from our so-called friends, colleagues, peers. We call them peers. So maybe you are in a college, you are in school, maybe you are a working professional, you are working in a IT sector, corporates, whatever may be the case. As long as you are having surrounded with your peers, colleagues, friends, and maybe they are not verbally they are telling you, okay, you have to do this, and like we are doing this, yeah, you have to maintain it, and you have to keep up this speed, and you have to keep up the status, and this is maybe they are not saying, and most likely the case, within ourselves, within our minds, psychologically, somehow we start developing those things. Then, of course, in terms of thoughts, in terms of the first you will have those tiny initial thoughts, and slowly you will start investing your time and energy into it, and after delving on them, after some time you will be having, okay, this is something, if I don't do this, then maybe I'm not doing great, maybe I'm not as successful as my friends are, as successful as my colleagues are, right? So it is really, really inevitable. It happens, and it happened maybe with you as well. Probably you are right now in that phase. If this is the case, so here's a spoiler. I mean, I will first cover up the symptoms and the situations basically, and then I will not only talk about the problems. Of course, this is a cause, but I will come up with effect and solution as well. So there is a cause, there is a fact, right? And then after that, it turns into a problem. If it is a problem, then there has to be any solution. I can share, of course, I can speak about myself, I can speak for myself, so I can share the things which worked for me, and the procedure which I followed, it worked for me. So you can, if you would like, you can give it a shot. You never know, it might work, it may not. All right, so second pressure is, it comes from the society, means where we are living. It could be our neighborhood, it could be, maybe we're living in a in an apartment, maybe you're living in a, I don't know, maybe you're living in a countryside, in a village, in a small society or small town. Whatever may be the case, the society plays a vital role in our life. You have to admit it. Because after all, we are waking up every single day, and we are spending our most of our time in society. Like specifically, I mean, you have to give it account how many hours you are staying in home, right? You have to interact with the outside world. That means you are in the society, whatever maybe your profession is, right? So society definitely plays a vital role. So there is a very clear pressure also comes from the society. What society will think, like what my uncle, aunts, what they will think, what my other relatives will think, what my family members they will think. They're also part of a society. Like you and me, we are also part of a society, right? Human being is a social animal, like, so of course we can't avoid it. But when there is a pressure, I mean, I think such kind of pressures could be there from your, maybe you're from teacher, from your colleagues, from your boss, or maybe you are in school, you are college, you have friends, families, society, name it. I mean, you can give them so many names, but essentially these are the main areas where we get this kind of the resistance and from them. And if this is the case, so these are all problems, guys, what I have been talking about, or probably the right word would be the sources from where we get all these kinds of notion, right? Once we are there, once we in that kind of stage, so it is really, really essential for us to invest some time on ourselves, and then you know come up with a strategy, and not for my family, not for my friends, not for my colleague, not for the sake of anyone, but yes, for this life, for myself, for this life, I have to come up with a solution. Because if you are not taking care of this thing, let me tell you, this is a spoiler basically, it's going to be a so much huge thing later on down the road in your life. Basically, many people, they just give up, and they do something else. Many times people just finish their life. So this could be one of the main indirect reason, probably, people are getting into choosing that route. All right, so we are not getting into so much serious discussion, of course. All my intention is like to giving you a roadmap or maybe outlining that thing which can help you. Probably someone is out there listening to this. It could be from any age group. It doesn't matter because we all have a mind. We have, and when we have a mind, we have thoughts. So maybe we are any stage of our life, and probably if we are going through such situation, then what could be the best takeaways, what could be the best thing we can, or best action we can take, in order to come out from this thing. So the first remedy I have is like the first I mean the thing I would do on my priority list is like withdrawing myself from every single thing. When I say withdrawing myself from every single thing, what I mean is my, like, it means withdrawing from specifically mobile phone we are using, mobile, a laptop, any kinds of technology we are using. Maybe we have to, if it is feasible for you, you can have a walk into the forest, you can go to the mountain, um, any place where you feel like it's silent and there will be no disturbances. You can go there, you can sit there, you can spend some time. And it is so much essential. It is really, really essential. The significance of doing this thing, it's really, it's going to help you immensely and down the road. I mean, when you will take the decision, and after summer, when you look back and see, oh yeah, there was a really, really, I mean, great significant step which I have taken. And this is the first step. If you are able to do this, if you're able to take this step, you are just maybe years apart from others, so those who are still suffering. Because all we are trying to do is, we are not trying to get into depression, anxiety, stress, like we have already discussed in the previous episode. I'm not going to stretch those things. All we are trying to you know avoiding ourselves to not to be able to get into those things, because those experiences are not good, as you know. We all we want for ourselves is very clear, crisp, and very simple life, and where we are joyful, we are happy, we are doing the things which we love, for ourselves, for our family, for our loved one, right? So that's exactly what we want. We don't want to make so much critical and making our life so hard that we have to go through all these, so many names, because there are so many names. I mean, it's almost 72 names, scientists are saying, like calling all these diseases in different way, stress in so many, I don't know, depression, anxiety, so many things. So first thing, I think, the essential step is withdrawing ourselves from every single thing we are associated with. Like if you're a working professional, take a leave. Take a leave. If you have to quit your job, or if you have to take a long vacation, do that. Because it's not about how much money you make, or it's not about your career ambitions, like I need this certification, I need this much amount of experience, then I'll be in a executive level post, I'll have my promotion ready by next year. No, it's all about your mental health. Are you okay? Are you looking for, are you looking at, long term well being, or you are just taking care of today, tomorrow, and next 3 months? Next 3 months, I'll have my promotion ready. So my boss want me to go extra hours. I will go extra mile. It doesn't matter like what exactly mental health I'm going through, what kind of trauma or stages I'm going through. It doesn't matter. If you are that kind of person, or you are maybe thinking like that, then let me tell you, there will be a huge disaster maybe is unfolding in your way. You never know. So it's always the best thing would be, you are giving enough time, you may take some time off and doing the right thing, which is going to make your life so meaningful and so worthwhile. Withdrawing, maybe you need to do social detox, do that. Maybe you need to go to the jungle and living there, by withdrawing from all kinds of technology, all kinds of distractions, social media, all kinds of things. These things are happening, by the way, in Western world. Now there are companies, those are providing these so-called social detox, camping. So you can literally go in a jungle or a mountain area for a week, a 10 days or 15 days program, and you will be staying there you will be camping there. And over there also, you are trying to maintaining silence. Specifically, Isha Yoga is doing in Tennessee in the USA. So Tennessee, they have made it's called Isha Institute of Inner Science, triple IT, triple I guess. So it's like once you go there, it's a huge city in like by itself. So it's you will be able to go there. You'll be able to live in the nature. It's the middle of the jungle. They have built a city, so you will be living with the nature, all kinds of wildlife, and you will be exposed with so many yogic practices most probably, and you will be following certain kind of diet plan, lifestyle. I mean, this is exactly the best thing, the remedy you are looking for yourself. So the best perfect place, if those who are living in North America, so for them it's definitely it's one of the place you must visit. You must visit at least once in a lifetime. You can go for maybe week or 10 days, 2 weeks program, whatever things, whatever it works best for you. In other parts of the world, if I talk about India, I mean, we are really blessed with the I would say the geographic location we have. It's really tropical. Or maybe in your village or your nearby area you will have a mountain, or you probably have a jungle. You can go there. So if you would like, go there, camp, and maybe you can go for trekking in the mountain. You don't need a company. If someone is joining you, it's fine, because all the the main idea behind of doing all these things, to be in the to be with yourself, or trying to maintain silent. You are not getting indulged with others, so that you can pay more attention to yourself. So you have to go by yourself. That's okay, fine, go do that. And then practicing silent. When I say silent, it's not like when you are not talking. Silent could be in terms of your mental level, mental thoughts. They're not all the time. They're not in work. They're not in production all the time, every single second, every single minute producing thoughts. Because when they're producing thoughts, it's like it takes energy. Like science is saying today's time, even if our brain is like we are in a right now, maybe I'm not doing anything, I'm just sitting. Even in a it's like in a minute or so our brain is capable of producing more than 60 thoughts. So they're saying its count could be more, because they keep doing all kinds of experiments. So it's data, these stats are changing. Don't call me on these stats. So it's they're saying when you are really intense or you are under stress, then the number goes so much high. It could be 50, 60 times high. So they're saying when even you are not doing anything, and if you are able to produce certain number of thoughts, that things almost your 20 to 25% energies are invested, are getting invested in that particular path. When your energy is invested, means your the food that you are taking in, right? And then all kinds of things, all kinds of resources you have, they're also getting invested. So what I'm trying to say is, like, being silent is going to be really, really the game changer for you if you're able to do that. If you go to the mountain, there is nothing. You do not have phone network, you do not have social media, no TikTok, no Instagram. Then you just going there, sit there, no book, no reading, nothing, just going there, observing the nature and the things that are happening. It's going to definitely it's going to help you immensely. Because in within home, if you ask me, within home I can also do this, but it's not like, we know we have to be honest with ourselves. In home it's not possible at all. We have a family, we have a kids, and first of all we are living in a concrete blocks these days. So you just forget about the having that kind of atmosphere to maintain even silence. It's not possible at all. Then there will be a time you will slowly feel like, okay, I can now turn inward. And if you are in any kind of yogic practices you are doing, or maybe meditation, it definitely is going to help you. It is kind of a support. It's going to help you to go more deeper level, I guess, and it's going to deepen your process. And then of course meditation sadhana, it's definitely great help. If you are able to take advantage of those things, then of course. If you are living in India, I mean, if you are having such kind of things, if you can if it is doable for you, that's what I'm saying, you must visit Isha Yoga center. It's in Coimbatore. It's in the state of Tamil Nadu, the southern part of the India. And it is just I mean, it is really heaven. I mean, you should visit once in a lifetime. If you have 1 week's time, if you can take the time off, go there. 2 weeks time, 10 days time, go there instead of going for Thailand, Dubai, or something like that. Go there and spend the time. You will see the kind of changes will happen and the clarity will have in your life. The small things which are becoming a big, huge, mountain of obstacle, like you can easily cross them. And then once you are there, once you go through that stage, that time period, then once you come out, then you will see, you are able to see things very clearly, very vividly. Then you can start, maybe this is something called goal chunking. This, like, so many successful entrepreneurs, they have been doing it, and they were it worked for everyone. So those who followed them, you can also follow that. It's goal chunking. If you guys want, then do let me know. I will make a detailed video on goal chunking. How, what are the like components are there, and how we need to maintain it, how we need to write your journal. So every single thing I will be explaining that. So if you guys want this, so you can go to the reply section, you can ask your questions. Anyways, if you guys already made it so far and you find it really really helpful, you might want to hit the follow button and turn your bell icon on. So what I was trying to emphasize on it, we will sum up in next couple of minutes. That we may be like, because as I mentioned in the beginning, we're living in a society. So it is really really possible that we may be able to see that our friends, they have, maybe, I don't know, someone is making six figure, maybe working for a big firm. Some friends are successful in the business. Someone, maybe he doesn't or she doesn't have to work because they're rich kid. So basically, this is also could be the case. Maybe some of your friends are settled in abroad. So you might really, you might get entangled and like in that paradigm that, okay, I'm doing nothing. Like, you will start again, then you'll start comparing yourself with them, and this is the here you get the main problem. And here the problem starts when you will start comparing yourself with some other person. And then, because this is your making, you have to understand, this is your something, it's happening in your psyche. So this is a psychological problem thought. This is not real in existentially. This is not happening in physical world. You just made it up in your mind. Your friends probably is not thinking the same way, and the way you have already perceived, right? Your friend who are already settled in abroad, they're probably not thinking, because they'll hardly they get time to think for themselves, because life is not that much easy in abroad. Let me tell you, I'm telling you from my experience. So most likely they don't get time to talk to their back home. They even don't get that much time to spend time with their families, those who are living with them, right, in that country. So don't think and that someone has so much dedicated time for you to think about. No, when we start doing comparing ourselves with anyone, then we get just this, we just start producing such kind of problems. And this is the one thing which we need to avoid. Never compare yourself with anyone, right? Because what we can do, everyone's competence is different, is really really different than other person. The quality I have, the strength I have, the weaknesses I have, and the perception level I have, it's really different than you. Yours is different than your friends, your maybe your family members, anyone, right? So how can you compare? On what basis you are comparing? You are comparing on the basis of the so-called the educational qualification we went through. It's just a piece of certificate, and that's all. It doesn't gives you any kind of authority to compare yourself with other person. Because what is your potential, probably you haven't even discovered yet. What hasn't happened yet, it can happen in next 1 year, in next 6 months. You never know, because life is always a possibility. I take it in this way. So what I did in my time, rather than comparing myself with other person, I try to look into myself, what I exactly want in my life, which like, actually I got the answer. It's been 4 years before, but I was still living abroad. I was still living in Canada, but I couldn't make it clear to me, because I was still in that situation. But there was a time when I gotten into the yoga. I started following some yogic practices, meditation and sadhana. It really helped me to realign my thoughts, what exactly I want in my life, what is the most precious thing I want to do. Because it's about life. I'm not in the race. I'm not in the rat race. I'm if I'm there, then I'm just losing my life instead of focusing on it. What exactly I want in this life. And then I followed every single thing which I shared, because this everything is based on my own personal experience. I could be 100% wrong. This is a disclaimer. I could be 100% wrong, because everything is based on my experience. It worked for me. If you want to like, you can give it a shot and you let me know. It might work, it may not. So what I did, I just quit my job. I finished my the yogic practices. It's called Shambhavi Mahamudra. I got initiated. It's an inner engineering program, basic fundamental program which Isha Yoga they offer, Isha Foundation, and I did that. I had to quit my job because job was coming in between. So I did that. I finished my program, and then I was in between the jobs, of course, for a couple of months, and then I got again employment. So after doing all this series of steps, I realized then what is the true essence of my life. What is the true being within me is already there. So I just need to make the passage clear. I just need to give some way so that it can explore. There is a possibility, which I did. I took the call. So I started my entrepreneurial journey, and I came back to India. And then because for me this was the call. Either I have to settle there, I have to keep doing what I was doing, and then rather than chasing money or not looking for life. Of course, life was way far, far from the reality what I was going through. It's maybe not the case if you're living in abroad. Don't call me on this. It was for me. Okay, I'm telling my experience. So I had to take the call. I realized, I just evaluated which is more essential, time or having those material things. I said, yeah, time and energy, that means my life. So I took the call. I came and I started my own ventures, which I'm really happy. And I'm so much joyful that like I'm being able to take this call. And then I'm still every single day I'm taking the call, I'm going out, I'm doing it, and I'm keep doing it because it's making me happy. I don't have to fight the traffic. I don't have to go to 9 to 5. I have my own independence. I have my own schedule. I can take the call whenever I want to take, whenever I feel like to work, whenever I feel like to take a time off, I can do that. This independence was never been possible for me. Think about, for just to finish a yogic practice, I had to quit my job. So just forget about this kind of lifestyle. Like being boss of your time, like whatever you want to do in your life, whatever schedule you want to make for yourself. So it is the most powerful thing. I mean, it's really so much profound thing happened in my life, and I'm so much grateful to the God and the Almighty, the Creator, because without his or her help, I wouldn't be able to like, for example, recording podcast. It like, probably it could have been, it was my dream, and it was probably like I wouldn't be able to explore this dimension, but which I'm doing right now. So it's a live example in front of you. So what I'm trying to say is, don't go with the flow. People will say, your colleagues, your peers, family, go with the flow, go with the flow. No, I mean, you are really a precious life. Your life is, you are an individual, first of all. You cannot be divisible further. So instead of comparing yourself, right, with someone else, spend some time to look into yourself. Probably we will come up with something profound. You will explore something profound about yourself. Maybe you haven't done it yet, right? And there is a huge possibility, and it's possible for everyone. So don't go with the flow. If someone is saying this is just BS, thus just leave that idea and come out of basically come to the real world. Okay, and then take this call, and then whatever is basically like, you will definitely able to get to know what exactly matters for you, what you want to do after following all these series of steps. Then just invest your time and energy on that particular thing. And I am telling you, I'm 100% sure, if you followed everything, and if you have figured this out, you will be so much joyful. Whatever the little thing you are doing, it could be little for in terms of society's eyes, in terms of their views, but within yourself, the life is beating within you, you will feel like, yes, I have done something. And you will be so much joyful. You will be able to keep pushing yourself every single day. You're waking up and you are doing the same thing. You are just showing up and you are doing the same thing, and you will never get bored. The best thing is you will never get bored what you're doing, because this is something you have chosen for yourself. It's not like someone is imposing you. There is no boss, there is no deadline. You are making up everything. You are deciding everything for yourself. The schedule you're making, deadline you are making, how much you want to go, what is the extra mile you want to go ahead. So I think you are able to resonate. So what I'm trying to say is, find your own way, find your own self, and just to be with yourself, it takes a lot. Like I mentioned in the previous episode, it is absolutely possible, but you have to, it is time consuming. You have to dedicate some time, and it takes some kind of devotion as well. Then when you do that, then mixture of everything, and it's a combo, and then it come up with a amalgamation of everything, and then you find out your own self and you do the things which really matters for you. All right, I think we have covered pretty much everything. And if you find this helpful, then of course leave us a review, and hit the follow button and turn on the bell icon so that you are not missed when the new episode is coming. Yes, please feel free to share your review, or your in the reply section, if you want me to cover that goal chunking part. I would definitely love to do that. And for now, over and out.